All right, everybody. Good morning. I'm bringing Virginia up here, and
Good morning.
well, I apologize. Last week, we've been both so busy that it was about an hour after we were supposed to broadcast last week. We were both like, we called each other and we were like, "Oh my God, we totally forgot our live."
We forgot it because I
And
was in another. I think I was in another town. I think when that happened.
yeah, and then I had work probably like 15 hours the day before,
Yeah.
and I slept. So it was one of those things where the best of intentions are there, but sometimes shit
Shit
just
happens.
happens. It's just
That's
so.
we forget sometimes. We're just normal people, everyday people.
Well, I have a lunch meeting today, and I'm actually meeting one of the senior managers, partners at work, and I'm like, crap, I can't. So I had to change that too. But this just happens. It just is
Well,
what it is.
yeah, it is. There's
So,
nothing we can do about it sometimes. So we don't get.
but
We never get upset about those kind of things. We've seen too much going on. So yes.
yeah, it's fun though. But it is what it is. So good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Virginia and I have our coffee here. She has plumbers in the house right now, so if you hear some noises in the background, because there's plumbers working on the house. So
Thank God. Thank God we have plumbers. Good people. Good. So
what are they
yes.
fixing there?
They're fixing my sink. I'm getting a new sink. I've been wanting this for a long time, but I've never been able to really put that together. And this gentleman he's been working, but he came over and boom, it all happened. You know how it is: divine order, divine timing, divine plan. Make it easy. I just wanted to make it easy for all of us. And so it's working. So the next time you come into the house, you'll see a new sink, and I'm thinking about, he's also an electrician, so I'm going to be able to use him and put a light on the shower. Hallelujah.
A light on the shower? I've
Yeah,
never heard of a
I'm going to
light
put
on the
a light in there. I'm tired of,
shower.
when I have to shave my legs, I can't ever see, so I said, no, I want a light. So that's what he's going to do next. And we're going to fix the kitchen. I'm going to have the kitchen fixed quite frequently. So
Okay.
this is exciting for me, but also they're very much interested in energy. And I think
What
that's
you
a good
do is you get studio lights in your kitchen, so that when we're broadcasting from your kitchen, the lights are shining on us already.
Oh, that's a good idea. Put in the. I would like to get the fluorescent light out because it bothers me. That's where I had the stroke, is in the kitchen,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it starts. It does bother me.
We call it the kitchen broadcast because we've done that before.
We've done that before. Yeah, I'll just have to talk to them about can lights and putting it in the kitchen correctly, and then the one in the bathroom. So we're
I
just
can fix it.
analyzing everything about the house because the house is about 70 years old.
And you guys, a lot of healing happens just in her kitchen.
Yes,
Something
it
will just happen,
does.
and
Yeah.
people will like be sitting on the floor in her kitchen and everything else, and because something hit, and
We
they,
lay them down off a chair and put them right down on the floor.
yeah. So it's it's a very interesting house, and most people drive by it, can't see it.
Yep.
They literally drive by it. I'm like, how'd you miss the little red brick house? Like that's
You
impossible.
know,
But
look how many people tried to get into my house after that video. They tried to, they found out my number, and these people wanted to fly in and see me. Oh my God, it freaked me out. That scared that freaked me out when people wanted to fly in and see me.
well, it happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
it
So,
happens. It's right.
well, I want to talk about something because so guys, the spirit, universe, God, doesn't matter. Um,
Jesus.
Buddha, whatever,
Yeah.
has the old saying goes that there is a divine plan.
Yes.
So I have gone through it since the beginning of the year. I mean, emotionally and everything, and energetically. And to me, I just looked at it as a practice, but that doesn't mean I wasn't going through all the emotions. So, um, but I started laughing recently because I was going through all those emotions, and we were so busy during the fall. Went to Scotland. Christmas ended up. I could feel it. It was just you could feel it was just going to be slow, and I kept on getting this feeling like now is your time to rest.
Right.
And but of course I had all the things that you're responsible for, bills, all that other kind of stuff. Well, how am I going to take care of this? You told me I was going to do this, talking to Spirit. So I think you guys have heard me tell this story. I basically went off on Spirit in February and said, you told me this. Well, anyways, long story short, I thought it was going to be traveling. Well, guess what? Yeah. So now I'm so busy, I'm having trouble keeping up with stuff. I just have to keep on thing. It'll all work out every morning. It'll go into exactly the way it should be. Don't stress about it. But I'm going to California next week, to Fort Lauderdale, Charlottesville, Virginia, and Peru. Not all in 1 week, but over
the that's a big hit right there.
But it's just one of those things. It happens in the divine timing. And so the right timing, whatever phrases you want to use, it doesn't really matter. So if things aren't working out in your life right now, just know that it will. And now I'm asking for help from the divine. I need some help. There's going to need some people bring in the team. So,
right.
Because I had to, but I want it to be the right and perfect people. I don't want it to be people I'm going to argue with, or that are going to cause drama or jealousy. I don't want to deal with that anymore. That's one of the reasons why I hadn't gotten asked for a team, because I just didn't want to deal with that anymore. And then I heard Spirit say, well, what makes you think we're going to send you that? Yeah.
Right. We've heard you. We heard you. Now be still. Let it happen.
Right. Yeah.
That's exactly. I think that's what the most important thing I've ever learned is just learning to be still, not to think and not try to promote it or project it out. Let it happen in its natural way. And it is more easier. It is. When it is easy, you already know that it's God. But when it's really getting complicated, it's not.
Yeah. Well, we just had that recently. We've had some things where it just didn't feel right. It didn't necessarily mean it was bad. It just meant it just wasn't feeling right. It didn't work out the way we wanted to. Yeah. So it's like, and that's okay, because there are things that I've been working on with people, and then later on, it didn't work out right then, and later on, it just fell into place.
Right.
So,
right.
And so we got a comment here. Let's go look at this.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Oh.
Love these all, as these always brighten my Fridays and truly allows my spirit to be aligned in love and light. Lets no person bring me down, as I know now that I am more than about. Absolutely.
That is exactly the truth.
Yeah, I almost did a video last week, Ghost Rider, saying we're very sorry we missed our stream.
Yeah, did Ghost Rider call you, or did he check in with you or something to say, well, we missed you?
Yeah, that was our fault. That was, but it's like I said, divine timing, divine order, divine plan.
Totally forgot it. Totally.
But I got my coffee this week.
Well, I have mine, and it's the horse.
Is that the cup I got you?
That's the cup I got you. I sent it to you.
Oh, yeah, I've got one of those cups too.
You and Jennifer.
If you guys want to give Virginia anything, send her a cup. She loves it.
Oh, don't. That's not even funny. I bet you I have 50 cups. No, thanks. I appreciate it, but no. That's what people give me. Well, as a teacher, I was like that. I mean, I had cups all the time, teacher, the best teacher, and all that. And I mean, they were great, but I had to let a lot of them go. So
Jesse's on.
Jesse,
we'll all come together. Hey, Jesse. Good morning.
And time. That's right. Jesse, you need to start working really deep in there.
Yeah, Jesse's a beautiful light.
He is.
In this world, and so we're getting ready to do our 2024 Spirit Heart Cruise. We're actually doing very well. I got the numbers the other day of people that have signed up, and I haven't even had a chance to tell Jesse, so he'll hear it now, that we've got a lot of people signed up, and we're going to have a great experience going to Cozumel and Costa Maya and Roatan, Honduras.
Yeah, I'm not coming. That's for you all.
Well, you'll come. I bet you'll come on the Alaska one.
Well, if it's going to Alaska, I'll go there.
And,
But I want to do that in the 6 weeks that they're in summer. I don't want to do
yeah,
that.
well, Jess,
I
Jesse's going to be the
want great
Je-
glaciers and stuff like that because those are amazing.
for all that you're watching. Jesse is a travel agent, so he's going to be booking that cruise, and you can only cruise during that time frame in the summer up
Yes.
into Alaska. I think
Yeah.
can't remember. He told me, yeah, Alaska. I think he said it's yeah, because the water's blocked out. So I don't know if we can see like I know Damien's gonna be really excited about this because he wanted to go to Hawaii with me because he wanted to see the whales. I'm hoping we'll be able to see whales in Alaska. So
Oh,
when
wow.
we're
Yes.
yeah,
I wouldn't mind going back to Hawaii. I have some clients in Hawaii, and so do you. And I mean, we do need to go in there because when all of that mess went on, we were talking to Hawaii back then. Remember that guy
yeah.
called us the Kahuna, and he was
Oh yeah,
asking. Yeah, he came in. He said, "Can you fly in?" And we couldn't fly in, but we helped him with the arcing the energy over for him.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Jesse, drop your website for a travel agency, and I'll put it up on the screen. So, anyways, we could do that as a cruise too around Hawaii. Although
Oh my!
some people,
Now I don't mind going to Hawaii again. I've been there, but I loved it.
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's put it together and let's put a workshop down over there.
Well, I think it would be a lot of fun, and there's tons of spiritual centers, and or we could do like a small cruise. There's cruise
Absolutely.
lines that go right into Hawaii, and they go to the different ports. Like I've been to Maui, but
I love Maui.
I want to go
I've
to
been to Kahuna too, and Kahuna was really interesting because of all of the way it was with the volcanoes.
yeah, I want to go to was it Kona? I can't remember the Garden Island.
I don't know.
Um,
Kona was not a garden by any means. It was all ash. But I went to that restaurant with all the kahunas came in and they
yeah,
surrounded that restaurant and it never burnt. It's like a
yeah.
50 feet out, but they fixed all of that so it never came into their restaurant.
Yeah.
It was pretty
I'll have to ask. I'll
powerful.
have to ask Mary because she lives in Oahu,
Yeah.
and um, but yeah, that's well, that's a whole subject for another show. But Hawaii is definitely a beautiful, beautiful place. But there's so many cool places that we could go to, and the kahunas and the shamans, especially, um, in like Peru and South America, they can do things like I've heard stories from Don Oscar that his teacher used to manifest
Right.
food into his hand, and so and then I just
There.
witnessed that. I just witnessed that physical mediumship where they were manifesting things into reality. And of course, your logical mind goes, "That's impossible," you
But they
know.
were doing it in the 1200s. I mean, they knew how to
Yeah,
do that. There's Jesse. There's his.
yeah, yeah. So it's just jsmith.dreamvacations.com travel homepage.html. I'm gonna put it, guys, here because I know the people on YouTube might not be able to see that, but I'll drop it into the thing so he can do cruises. And not to make this a commercial, but he's one of my best friends, and I want him to be successful. So I'm gonna plug him. And so that, and he's my business partner on the other parts of the stuff. So, anyways, yeah, they were doing that in the early. That's not new. That's not a new thing. So
Well, this is what Jennifer and Mary Pat and I'll be going in June. We're going to Tennessee, and we're going to be talking to a sacred place with water. And what they are bringing water up from the ground, and it is blessed water. And they've invited me in. They saw me on the video, and they've invited me in for 3 days to come and watch what they were doing and how the water feels. And they said you can even bring water out. And I thought, yeah, I want to see this, you know. So we're going in. That we all three of us are going in to look at the sacred grounds. There's also Indian mounds over there. It's right outside of Knoxville, and it's about a 3-hour drive in there. And that's what we do is we go in and find the sacred grounds. And this is where water is coming out of the earth that is pure. And
that's
so
amazing.
definitely want to look at that. And they called me and asked me to come and visit. So it's on them. So I'm doing that.
I want to bring something else up too, because when you're talking about that, it makes me think about something. You and I both work for years. What I've been working. I've been studying for 26 years, and you've been, I've probably been working in this full time, or off and on professionally since what,
26
18
years.
years. And
Six-
yeah, well, yeah, and you've been doing it for 25, 26 years. And
Yes.
one of the things I want to say to everybody is that when you're working on things in your life, like, don't give up. Like, literally, let it keep on. You're gonna do things, and it's gonna be frustrating, and you're going to get depressed. You're gonna get down. You're gonna wonder why things aren't happening the way you want them to. But keep on pushing forward. And this has been pretty heavy on my mind in a way, because I'm looking back at all the times I was frustrated, and now things are really starting to pay off for both of us, in a sense, almost to the point where we're both like, okay, that's not what I meant.
Well, I was under the radar. If it hadn't been for Jeff Myers' video, I was totally under the radar. Nobody even knew I existed.
But that
Except,
was both of us. Both of us said we were bored.
yes, we did.
But it
We,
also set the intention. I'm glad that Jesse's here, because we had set the intention for that retreat we had at my apartment.
yes.
Because we were brainstorming a few months before that. I was in New Orleans, I was in New York, and I was like, wow, this would be so much fun. And then we had that retreat.
And that was
And
very successful. That was a very
I thought
successful.
I thought it was very
I
successful.
thought it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
And we saw people change. And,
Literally.
of course, the problem with changing is that you go out and then you have to go back, and you go back into your old life. And then it gets frustrating and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've been kind of operating where you're like, you didn't really like your life, but you also were kind of complacent with it. And so then,
Right.
because I know I did this for years, I would go and do things with you or with other people, and then I have to walk back into that office or that job, and I'd be like, oh,
I know.
and it would be like a ton of bricks hitting me. However, what ends up happening is each time you get stronger, and you
Mhm.
get better, and you get more driven to do what you're doing. Damien was shocked at me the other day. Because he's like, I told him, I said, I'm really not interested in dating right now. And he was like, what? I was like, no. Mm-mm. I mean, if somebody comes along that is, in flow with me, that's fine. But if somebody's going to derail me from what I want to do, what I'm doing right now, then absolutely not.
Absolutely.
So he was shocked. And I was like, well, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of having to deal with and explain to people who I am, or be bored in a conversation because it's not about things I want to talk about. So,
I get it.
but
I get it. Well, and I did the same thing. I had to give everything up to find everything. And that's, what's more important to me was not the material things. It was really having the connection to the universe of God. And that made a difference for me. But I was 51 when I started my business. So
I'm only a year away from that.
I know. I know. And I mean, 50 was great for me because it really set me open to really be free to do what I came in here to do. So, and you got to lose a lot of stuff, but it's not losing anything. It's just releasing them to bring something new. And this is where people have a hard time. They still want to hold on to the old, but they want to bring in something new. Well, you can't bring in something in if you don't have any room to bring something in. You got everything still there. So there's a lot of people that have to let things go.
That's what I was going through with that apartment, because I loved that apartment so much, and I knew it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean it didn't suck.
And also it wasn't always easy. When you knew it was not easy, then you went and got into the bed and just laid down and got still. Remember when the voice would say, you need to be still?
Yeah. Because I remember that, just sitting there and packing that apartment up, and I would just, there for a while I was procrastinating because I didn't want to do it. And
but you did it, in less than 3 weeks?
I've been laughing about that a lot lately, because we were going through the things that we were going through. I was packing that apartment, and only the closest people knew that I was packing that apartment. I was getting ready for that online symposium.
Right.
And then getting ready for Scotland. And you were probably one of the few people was hearing how stressed I was about finances and everything else. And then it all worked out. And so that, I'm glad such a big thing shifted to where I could see that.
Mhm.
because every time I start getting stressed out, I just hear fall of 2023, Scotland. That's all I
Okay.
hear. Like you
Well, I was
literally,
stressed out too. Yeah, I mean, when I called you, what, 2 days later after I got all those emails and all of that, I said, I'm not doing this. If you can't help me, I'm not doing this.
it was a great experience. He's talking about the retreat from last year.
Oh,
It was a great experience. Helped me out so much to deal with issues that I have had been as depressing, and really just hitting down and talking to your inner child does help. Good job, Jesse. Good
yes,
job. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. And it's not easy because I had
Oh, what?
I just did.
Well, let me. I'm having the plumber needs me.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just chat about that real quick because she's going to talk to the plumber. I had I just had a belief code session done on me yesterday by my friend Sarah, and there was things from age 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 that had to do with my male parts of my family, and it's like and it wasn't anything that they did to me. It was basically about what they were doing around me. And so I had to look. There was a lot of arguing going on when I was a kid, that kind of stuff, and that affects you.
Yes,
And so the smallest little, people you arguing or yelling and stuff like that. And then to the point where as an adult, I don't like people yelling. It really just hits me hard. And I would rather just walk away
yes,
and not have to deal with it because it just literally that just energy just really just makes it feel like chalk going across, fingers going across a
yeah,
chalkboard.
yeah.
So
Well, or you don't feel comfortable in your body anymore.
right. Yeah.
It does make me feel very anxious inside. It makes me. I know that I'm not in the state of mind that I need to be.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well, I have to tell another kind of cool story because Jesse's on, so we went to this Mayan ruins called Chochaban, and down in southern Mexico, and he went there and he actually saw he was going to pick up a little pebble, and so, um, and a spirit came up to him, a shaman, a medicine man came up to him and says, "No, put it down." And so, and then I think that him and Kevin saw these little people, and they actually talked to the tour guide. And the tour guide said, "You saw them."
Oh, they were the
And
little people that were there.
yeah,
The
Jesse could probably explain it better than I can, but it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was, and the tour guide said they were kind of shocked that, that we saw them, or Jesse and Kevin saw them, because I didn't see them. I felt the energy, but it wasn't the
I
same.
have seen fairies.
Yeah,
I've seen fairies because
I
I
don't know
did
if
a
they were
fairy
fairies or
walk.
not, but they were, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
and those are ancient little people
yeah.
because I've been to those ruins too, and I could feel everything just like you all did. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
Well,
was
that's
way
one of the
before I met you all. I mean, that was like in the late '80s, I think, when I went.
that's one of the reasons why I go to these things, because I want to feel that energy and experience that. I mean, because every person, every energy, and every soul that's been passed by those
Hmm.
energy is there. And so I just say, give me the highest and best good, or of this energy. And so I don't even know if I haven't been there in a past life. So that's one of those things where I just ask for that when I'm there, and I have these. Well, I've called you before. I've had some profound experiences there. So.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
and I'm sure you did when you were there too. So,
Oh, I had a crew. I mean, we were on a cruise ship, and I was with 7 couples, and we were, and I was just walking around. I was not awake at that time, but I could feel energy, and I would say, "There's something going on here," and they would say things, and finally, one of them said, all these people started following me, and my husband at the time said, "Why are these people following you?" I said, "I don't know." But I could go into a museum and they'd follow me because I could feel the energy and I'd be guided through the energy of the museum or the mound, wherever I was. That's why people
yep.
would find us.
Yeah, we did that. We did that at the museum in Scotland too. So we could feel
Yeah.
the energies. Yeah,
Well,
this is what
you
Jesse,
feel
little
it.
guardian, protect the side. Yep.
Yes. And he says, little guardians protect the side. See,
Site.
that's exactly, there are protecting, but they're energy, guards, boundaries. that you don't even realize you're walking out. Most people don't even understand that there are boundaries, and then they walk through them, and it causes. That's why sacred land gets, dusted up. Well, it gets really tainted because people are in and out all the time, and you don't
Yeah,
want to.
that's what happened to Sedona too, because there's so many people going in there.
Exactly.
It's.
You can feel
I
the
mean,
difference.
you felt it though still when you went there, didn't you?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah, we were on top of, and we felt everything. I mean, that's where we met that gardener, and he heard us. That's when I had Bonnie and Jennifer, and we came in just to do that hotel. And they told me it would be, well, it's not a hotel, it's like a airport, but it's different there. And they said I'd never get in there. And all of a sudden I would just stay, and they said, call, and I got in. And exactly where I need to be and everything. And we drove in that night. This guy stopped me he was a gardener. He was from, I think, China, and he said, we heard you last night. And I thought, my God, they heard us? Were we that loud? No, he meant, and he even knew my name. He said, I know who you are, Jenny. And I went, and it freaked me out because
he knew your name.
He knew my name.
Wow. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he said, we really are glad you're here. And
wow.
I was just like, whoa.
That's like Raymond running across Socrates at the Oracle Delphi. So
see, and I've met Socrates too at Delphi. See, I knew the same thing he did. That's why I knew. But I read his book way, way long time ago. He was doing it in the 70s.
Yeah, Jesse's talking about Chichen Itza too, and about how they because that's like there's like a flea market around that pyramid. They've it's lost some of that energy, and he's talking, relating to what we're talking about with these, where they kind of stomp out that energy.
They do. When you got people that have not the same energy field, they're being grounded into their energy, and it causes it to be tainted. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why sacred things are being tainted.
And guys, you don't have to go to like these big places. There's areas in your, I bet you there's sacred spots everywhere.
Find your history. Go find the history places.
Yeah, because there's a place in Newport Richey. There's a park there. I've actually, believe it or not, some people might agree with this, but churches, I'll go to churches. And because if there is anybody, even if you don't believe in the same things they believe in, if people went there and had real faith, I mean, really believed in what they believed in without any doubt, that energy is there. And really, it's about alignment with who they are and being authentic with who they are. And they're not in judgment of everybody else. You can just feel that energy just pouring in. And I've actually found that a lot in churches that are very high energy. They're not even always the biggest churches. They're sometimes the smallest ones. That minutes you can just feel that.
If they will do their history wherever they are, and they start really working with that, we would help them to come in. We would help them find it if they would work with us. But they've got to bring us in, and we have to have accommodations, but we will do that. I mean, I love going in. Kentucky is one of the best that we go in. That's why we're going to Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee would be fun.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then to find sacred water, darn right.
Are you getting some bottles of it, bringing it home?
Yes, I'm going to bring in bottles.
And maybe you never know, you might drink that, and then you're going to be a 20-year-old woman again. With all your wisdom.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose that. I mean, I don't.
Isn't that what people say, that I want to go back in time to this age, but I want to keep all my wisdom?
Yeah,
that's what I tell people. I don't want to go back to. I don't even. I like my body right now and who I am. I don't want to go back to even where I was when I was 25. I
would like to go back at 51, where I've got it where I am now. Yeah, that was kind of. But I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is college. I went to the Muslim secret place in West Virginia, and all those places just feel the energy of a lot of people there. Yeah.
He's right, because West Virginia is those mountains talk. So does the mountains in Kentucky. They talk. They have spirit.
Yeah. So West Virginia is a beautiful place. Well, guys, it's 10 o'clock. Look at our website, mydivineinheritance.org. It's in the description of the show. there is free stuff on there. There is, if you go all the way down, there's a thing called frequently asked questions. There's a meditation by Virginia. There's a whole bunch of free books, links I gave. People are always asking us about study, and they say they don't have enough money to pay for some of our stuff. But go
It's-
to that.
Yeah.
There's free stuff, and there's this video almost every Friday. We're on talking about stuff, and we'll answer questions that you guys have too. So
Mhm.
thank you everybody for watching. Jesse, thanks for interacting with us.
Happy Mother's Day for everybody.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. So
Yes.
I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
Love you.
Love you too.